Welcome to Was It Good, the podcast where we review movies and TV shows. Today, we are unfortunately talking about Attack on Titan, Season 4, Part 2. And I say that because news broke earlier today that there will be a Part 3, which means we have to wait, and I have no patience. I'm Ravi, joined by
Arjuna.
And I'm Krishna, here in the flesh.
Wow.
Wow.
The Flash.
Also in my my brand new Scout Regimen cloak.
Oh, we forgot to say fun facts about ourselves.
Do we do that? We
Yeah,
did that last week. We did, yes. When we were doing our intro.
Yeah.
Sad.
So here's the thing, though. You say this is a bad thing. You say this is a bad day, a bad announcement. I say it's incredible. It means there's more coming. I wish it would never end, even though it would.
I mean, I think we've talked about this, but I think the thing that it bothers me about the continuation of a final season is you're like, okay, these are the final 16 episodes. Oh,
Right.
there's 10 more episodes. Oh,
Right.
now there's 8 more episodes. Oh, now there's another 8 more. You know what I mean? Like, it just keeps going and going, and it's I think it's a lot for your how you're prepared mentally and emotionally for these episodes going in. Because honestly, up until this morning, we were like, this is the last episode of Attack on Titan.
No, we knew.
We didn't know, but we didn't know. Like,
We
there
didn't
was
know.
nothing that had been announced.
But we knew.
No,
we knew there would
We
be
knew
more.
there was potentially something, but the bigger problem was that we didn't know if it was going to be a final season or like
Yeah.
a part of a season,
Right.
or if it's going to be a movie. Towards Jim's point, again, yeah, it takes away from the whole idea that this is the final season. It's just continuous. It's going.
But there is good news, though.
Is
It
it?
is definitively called the final arc. Like that's it. Like we know that whatever comes out next year.
But this season was
will be
called the
it.
final season.
Yes.
And then they called it, just kidding. What you just saw is the part 1. And then
Right,
they're like,
yeah,
here's a
correct.
part 2.
Don't get me wrong. They are huge teases. Don't
But also usually, most things that studios and producers and people want to keep going, they'll do like a part 1 and a part 2, like Deathly Hallows for Harry Potter, part 1,
Breaking
part
Bad.
2, Breaking Bad, part 1 of season 5,
Twilight.
part 2.
Breaking Dawn.
Yeah,
Is that the last
there's
one?
2 parts. There's not fucking 3 parts. And I'm gonna go so far as to say
Hobbit.
ball prediction right now.
Bald.
I'm calling it right now before we even get to the end of the pod.
Cold.
It'll be season 3. It'll be season 4, part 3, plus a fucking movie.
Because it's called the final arc, not the final episodes.
The final arc. Yeah, it's true. Actually, it's true. It's like the final arc, but it's not the actual ending.
Also, what's to stop them from doing season 4,
part 4.
part 3,
Epilogue?
the final arc, part 2?
Yeah.
What
my
is there to
God.
stop them from doing that? There is nothing.
Well, here's the thing, right? I don't know.
I think there needs to be a hostile takeover of Mappa at that point.
I will say, the people that I follow on Twitter who are anime, into anime,
I'm sorry. Are they actually anime? They're not real.
Correct. They are anime themselves. No,
Whoa.
they kind of feel how you guys feel. They're like, Mappa's just playing with our emotions. They don't know what they're doing. They feel cheated, right? So I think there would be the backlash if it's not truly the final arc would be immense, just like the rumbling itself. The rumbling of the neckbeards would descend upon Mappa, wiping them out, leaving nothing to remain.
I mean, I will say, now that we've seen all of part 2,
Yeah.
not a lot, like...
Nothing happened.
What? How can you say
technically- Well,
that?
no, okay,
How
but
can
in
you say
terms of like the amount of time that's passed, like there's definitely a lot of interesting information and there's a lot of good information that you need for the story, but it's not very plot heavy, right?
Well, it's only been like so. If this part 1 ends with Marley dropping in their troops, Reiner and all that stuff, and then this ends with them on a boat with the flying ship going to, how do you pronounce their name?
Marley?
The engineers.
Ackerman?
Is it the Anchor? Not the Ackermans. The
Azumabito?
yes, that family that's helping them with the engineers to finish the flying ship. It's only been like maybe tops a week.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Most of this has been very heavy in terms of like what happened, how do we get here. And this episode, the last episode that just came out, really showcases through Eren's eyes what he was doing, how he got from
Actually, Mikasa's eyes.
Mikasa's to start, but then also Eren's eyes
mostly
in terms
Mikasa's. And then it goes to...
Oh, I
Then
guess
it
you're
goes
right.
down,
The second half
shift.
was sort of,
Yeah.
was
Because
Eren.
it adapted 2 chapters.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
adapted chapter 123
Right.
and chapter 130.
Shout out to
They
Mike.
meshed them together.
Shout out to Mike
and
on
have this-
YouTube
this-
for
this,
calling that out on our video.
baby, essentially. But should we get to one-word impressions?
No.
All right, so we do two-word impressions.
I don't want to do one-word impressions for the episode because the episode itself was kind of out there. I think we should do one-word impressions to kind of recap part two. And I want to go first.
Oh, I have a good one, too.
Because it kind of sums up how I feel, and I feel like a lot of people and fans of the show feel.
Sad.
Frustrated. Frustrated because, again, like,
Tell us what you're frustrated about.
the fact that I have to wait. The fact that it hasn't
wanna know.
ended. The fact that it does feel to a degree like
You're being dicked
we were,
around.
we were being dicked around and we're being tricked.
You feel
being
betrayed.
tricked.
Betrayed.
Yeah.
You feel betrayed.
Because what this means ultimately, means is there's potentially another 8 months to a year.
Maybe more.
Year
Maybe
plus,
more.
potentially.
Yeah, of me
Crying.
seeing cool things and figures and artwork and stuff and
Avoiding
buying it.
spoilers.
Avoiding spoilers
That's
too.
the big part, yeah.
It's a lot of work.
I-
Would you
but
just
I
like
almost-
me to tell you what happens?
No.
I do feel I maybe I don't think this is a problem for us, but do you think like delaying it this much also could potentially create indifference
Yes.
for some fans in terms of, oh, you know what, like I thought this was the end, it's not the end, and then time goes by, and then you just kind of lose, you know, the
Steam.
and the all the momentum that's kind of being built up because I kind of felt a little bit of that with part 2 when it came back. Like I was excited, but then I was just like, oh,
What
it's
happened?
been a while. Yeah, it's like, oh, because like part 2 like picks up like mid.
Yeah, it's right there.
You know,
Yeah.
like, oh boy, I gotta, you know, kind of jump back into this.
Yeah.
Like, would your feelings be different if they're like part 3 coming in like 3 weeks?
No, God, no.
I'd be fine with that. I
Right,
think that'd
it
be
would be
great.
fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're talking 8 months at least.
At least,
Right. And we don't even know, like, at least last time with part 2, they said winter of 2022. And Michael, our producer, was like, hey, you know, winter is also still January, February. So that gave us hope. Here, they haven't said anything. They just said 2023.
They've given themselves 12 months to really play around with. It could be. It
18
could
months.
honestly be December
Of next year.
31st.
Could be it's like 21 months
Yeah,
of
December
of leaving.
31st.
Arjuna will be well
20,
into his 30s
23.
at this point.
Yeah.
I'll be 31.
Potentially.
It could be
Potentially.
January again, though. You know,
could
It
be.
could,
That's
it could
true.
very
That's very
much
true.
be January. Yeah.
They've given
Could be January
themselves a lot
1st,
of
midnight.
flexibility for they could do anything. They could even announce a part 4 before it.
Oh no, please. Please, Marshall.
I go back to the idea. I think it's going to be we're going to do a part 3, and I think there's going to be a movie because again, this is a cash cow. It's
yeah,
a
I don't
huge
know.
fucking cash cow for them.
I know it seems like there's. I mean, you guys said it right there, or Arjuna and our producer said it that they seem to be following along closely with the chapters, and if there's 12 chapters left, then that's the
think it's
story
9.
they
I
have,
think
or
it's
9.
9
Yeah,
chapters left.
that's the story that remains to be told. So it's
Sure,
like, okay,
but hold on. To playing cynical, you know, evil producer type person here for a second. Let's say, so it is very much based on like chapters or whatever, right? So let's say the very, very last chapter, the last 2 chapters. Who's to say you couldn't all of a sudden stretch it for sure, but stick them in the movie, and the majority of the movie is also kind of recapping in a new creative way of what happened to get you to this point. So then what you're doing is you're sucking in brand new fans, right? Being like, you can just watch the whole movie, get the whole picture for the most part. And you're forcing the fans that have waited at that point 10 years, because this did air in April or something of 2013.
You could be
10
right.
years!
But there's no point in getting mad about something that's not confirmed. Like, you might be right, and you're getting mad and frustrated, and that might not happen. It just might be
No,
the
of
last
course,
part.
Maybe you should-
But this is a podcast where we get mad and angry for no
Okay,
reason.
lock
No,
into
you're right.
you
Duh.
are the attack titan, right? Lock
Yes.
into the path. Search the timeline.
And then destroy
Go to
Mappa.
the future.
Hold
Destroy
on.
Mappa.
The future Attack Titans to see what the ending is and where it actually ends.
Yeah, just use the
God.
paths.
Yeah, use the
which I still
paths.
don't
It's fine.
understand.
It's fine. Magic. Anyway, I said my one-word impression. I've gone too long. Christian, your one-word impression for the season so far.
For part 2 specifically will be lore. So
Whore?
no, yes. Eren's a whore. No. Part 2, season 4, part 2 is lore for me because you're absolutely right in terms of the physical action in the present day. It wasn't a whole lot, but we did get a lot of, like Arjuna said, much needed information, and I thought it was delivered in a really interesting, clever way. A lot of truly like what the fuck moments. So and almost information overload too. Like with like trying to keep all of that in your mind, trying to figure out what it means, what's real, what's not, what's a red herring, who do you believe, who do you trust. This middle part, I think, maybe more than any other part of the show, maybe represents that.
Mm-hmm. Because we got
lore,
got to learn more about obviously Zeke's plan. We got to learn a lot more about the founding Titan and Eldia.
The Eldian past.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Fun story.
Like a lot of flashbacks in this.
Should have done
part.
flashback is your word.
No, I like lore. I like the mythology of it.
Could you argue? Could lore be just a better, fancier word for flashback?
No, because lore
is like telling a story.
But lore is
Right?
like history. Like
And isn't
the
a
world
flashback just
building.
history?
No,
Yes.
you can use a flashback to deliver lore, but it's not lore itself. It's a device.
Interesting.
Yeah. Gina, what's your?
I asked the questions here.
I am the
I'm the captain.
And real quick, we are obviously live on YouTube here. YouTube / Was It Good? And because we are live, Krishna is also sporting a very interesting outfit. We haven't actually brought it. We said it in the beginning, but like
We did.
Yeah.
This is a scout regiment. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
But
right.
we haven't seen
Seen
it
better.
yet.
Yeah.
We'd like to see it.
Yeah.
for
Sport.
those
Give us a turn.
watching
Yeah. For those
on
watching.
YouTube.
All right, here we go.
/ Was It Good?
This is. Oh, he's not even gonna get up and he's turning it around.
You see it?
Wow. Beautiful. Very nice.
This is the Scout cape.
Going for $29.99.
Krishna will be wearing the cloak
Naked.
every episode forever now.
Yeah, for the remaining 12 episodes or whatever.
Christian will not take off the cloak until the show actually ends. That is his Christian.
That
I don't
is
know if this is
gross.
the right material to keep on for that long.
I feel like it would disintegrate. Junior, your one word impression?
Mine's going to be protagonist.
because
Thank
he
you for
was
your time.
because he was missing.
No, this is more of a topic of season 4, and we really talked about this for part 1 in particular. But the first 3 seasons of the show, like Eren is pretty firmly the protagonist of this show. Season 4 really started out, and we were like, "Wow, where's Eren? Where are all the characters we actually got to know? Who are these people? We don't know."
We saw Reiner.
Yeah, you saw
Reiner was
You're
the
like-
only one.
You're like, I know that guy.
He's got a mustache now and a weird beard.
He's
But
been through a lot,
obviously
okay.
you got Eren a little bit later in the season. You had some of those great episodes where you finally saw the Eldians and their infiltration of Marley. In part 2, I think it even went to an even more of a degree where now Eren really has shifted to the antagonist of part 2, right? Like you have all these other characters who you've really gotten to know as supporting characters, and you kind of have floating protagonists, right? There's not necessarily one main protagonist for part 2, and I just thought that was interesting. And also, that's something you have to do at the end game, where you've built up all these characters, you've built up all these perspectives, and we obviously got like the campfire episode in part 2, and that was, I think, another illustration of that like floating protagonist perspective type of treatment we were given in part 2 in particular.
But I mean, I think, at the end of the day, the protagonist, the antagonist, at least in Eren's mind, is himself, isn't it? He's both the good and the bad.
I don't know about his. I mean, it's still mysterious.
Protagonist, antagonist doesn't necessarily mean good and bad. Like the protagonist is like your
Sure.
point of view character, and the
Right.
antagonist is not necessarily a character. Always, it's a
Something
force.
antagonizing the
Something
protagonist.
that
main
is
obstacle.
the main obstacle in the way for that character.
So again, Eren probably still sees himself as both of those things.
Does he see
He's
himself
not
as
his
both?
own antagonist. He sees the world as his antagonist.
Yeah,
he sees the
world.
world in his way. That's why he's literally.
He wants to
trampled
He wants to destroy it.
Yeah, and he actually illustrated his point pretty well to Historia in that specific flashback.
Historia and because he was having like the same conversation and Flock and
Yeah, that
and-
he's like, there's
yeah.
the only way to stop this endless cycle is
to bury the history.
Literally kill everyone.
Yeah,
So
to,
then you
to
have
bury
to
history.
restart.
I'm like, that's one way. Is it the only way? Yeah, maybe.
Well, how else would you go about fixing the problem? I mean, Zeke's plan was you
euthanize
euthanize all
let
of the
them die
Eldians.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other plan is
Eren,
there?
And Eren's like, well, that's stupid. That's not fair.
Could he have used the founding Titans' power to like brainwash non-Eldians?
I don't.
It
think
doesn't
so.
seem. It doesn't seem like he has influence on that level over non-Eldians.
And
Or
then,
at least we haven't seen it.
and then non-Eldians that get injected with spinal fluid, can they turn into Titans?
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
But
Because they talked about blood tests actually in this latest episode,
Yeah.
Right.
where there is something within the blood to tell if you're an Eldian or not.
is that propaganda?
Right. Because I've always thought actually that there was no
Yeah.
difference between any of the people. Like
There's,
they're just
we
all
haven't.
the same.
There's no proof, right? Like what
Right.
makes an Eldian an Eldian?
Right.
We're just taking them at their word, right?
Yeah.
And they can decide who is and who isn't. But then it seemed like maybe we got away from that theory once it became more biological. Like, oh, so if you inject these people with this fluid, they turn into Titans. That being said, we've never seen it being injected into anyone
A
else to
non-Eldian
know, right? To
injected
know
with
if
the
it
spinal
has
fluid.
the same response. So we're
Exactly.
still taking that information at people's word,
Right.
Because we haven't seen it. So and that would be an interesting.
So just plain
Conundrum.
propaganda,
Good
essentially.
old
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah, perspective and who do you trust? No one.
Speaking of things
Trust.
that we shouldn't trust,
Oh God.
Arjuna's DVD chapter listing.
Thank you for your time.
He literally wrote it before we went live.
You're
wow.
welcome.
I have it up here if you need to see it,
Oh,
Christian,
perfect.
because
All right,
Christian will be doing it in the voice of Armin.
The Japanese version.
Japanese version, yes.
No, how? That's not.
Just sound like a high-pitched voice and that you're whining all the time.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it is right.
Oh, Eren. Oh God.
That doesn't
He
sound right.
sounds like that's how he sounds. All right, this is Arjuna's DVD chapter listing for Attack on Titan season 4, part 2, episode 28. Boats and hoes. This is not Armin. I can't do Armin.
Keep going.
Did
someone
someone
to.
say ice cream? Riff raff, street rat. Shots, shots, shots. Oh, nice. The devil is in the room. The Zeke, the flock, and the Krista. Why did I say it like that? You sunk my battleship.
No, that's more like you flung my battleship.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Oh man, that last scene though of them shooting the Colossals.
How dare
First of
they?
all, I was shocked. I don't know the image of the Colossals swimming.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow.
The scaling seemed off, right?
Wait,
Did
what?
they-
You have to,
feel
but
like
the
that?
ocean is bigger than
Yeah,
a colossal
the-
But
titan.
no, I understand that. But
Yeah,
when they were being like shredded by the actual missiles,
right.
Or the gunfire.
yeah, like it seemed like too big of a wound from like the size essentially of the Titans versus the ship. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like it should have been blowing through them like that.
These were big ass cannons.
I mean, yeah,
There
this
was
is like
explosions.
yeah,
yeah,
these
yeah,
these are like
totally
these
right.
are cannons that like they would use to help demolish an entire city.
It just to me when I watched it, they felt small,
in
and then
under
they were
the water.
They're really really big.
Maybe they grew.
Well, there was nothing when they were under the water. There was nothing to compare them.
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Again, it's the big open
Yeah.
blue sea, so it's kind of difficult to.
The steam like literally
That was great.
disintegrating.
That makes
was
sense.
Disturbing,
But
as
we've
fuck.
seen that before. Remember our Christian's favorite or your favorite character in was it season 3
Armin?
when they're first fighting the colossal titan. Armin goes up and is
Oh, he's getting
vaporized
he's
by the
getting-
steam
yeah.
from the colossal
I
titan.
mean,
He's
that-
vaping.
I mean, I liked that.
Huh?
I liked seeing Armin die.
But he didn't die.
Yeah, but I wanted him to die.
You more than anyone I know was like, fuck Armin. I hope he dies. You've been saying that from the beginning.
If he's the winner of Attack on Titan and crowned
be
the true
pissed.
king of all humanity, is that the ending you want,
No,
Arjuna?
no.
Well, remember, Eren wants his friends to live and be happy, but
Aaron
Yeah,
wants
but
it,
I also liked.
but
when
then
Eren
how's that going to happen when his good friend Armin
gets
is the
shot.
colossal titan
Yeah.
and will eventually also die within the 7 years or whatever?
Oh, there's a great meme
Who knows?
of Aaron being like, I want all my friends to live, and Armin's just like, because he's the colossal titan is gonna die in 5
Speaking
years.
of real quick, the colossal titan, something that occurred to me the other day. I was rewatching the initial attack, in episode 1 or whatever. So you know how the colossal titans that are part of the rumbling,
Yeah, this is
they're
a good
the
observation.
size of the walls, but then the colossal titan as a titan is still taller than that.
So because
remember
he's one of the 9, you know,
Right.
so that should be it makes sense. Like he's
Yeah.
a special colossal.
And then going back into the other colossal titans, we actually talked about it during the episode. Are they humans that were turned into colossal titans, or are they?
That's one of
What
the,
are they?
Are we human or are we Titan?
I mean, that
Are
is
we
the theme song,
human?
but that's a good question. We don't know. At least I don't think we.
Also,
should know.
well, to go back to your point too, even for the founding Titans, everyone takes on different characteristics, right? So, like, even for the Jaw Titan, for example, a couple episodes ago, we saw Falco finally transform. Very different Jaw Titan to what we've seen with
He's like a
Ymir
Batman.
and Falco
with
Galliard.
Galliard, and then also even Ymir, right?
Yeah.
Like, they looked different. And then I think Berthold's Colossal Titan was maybe
Taller.
taller.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he was tall. Remember, he was like pretty
that's
tall
true.
himself. So maybe that's why.
But you know what's interesting though is when you eat a person and you get the Titan's power, you take on their characteristics of the person you've eaten. So like Armin used to be really
get their
short.
memories.
But you also get like their physical attributes.
Oh,
as
so
well.
maybe it's more like you get the attributes of the Titan, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what.
Because
You're right. Because Reiner, and I think Reiner's the best example of this.
He was
'Cause
scrawny as fuck.
When he first gets to the island, he looks like Falco.
It was like a
scrawny, short.
It's a Captain America transformation.
Absolutely.
Basically.
And then within a year,
Oh my God, they're
within
all-
a year, he's like jacked.
So
you know?
basically, the Titans are Avengers,
Avengers. Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
The
100%.
Avengers.
100%.
made by Germans.
Wasn't the Colossal Titan in the beginning though just sort of peeking over the wall, like maybe on his
On his
tippy
tippy
toes?
toes. Hello.
It was like a super secret Easter egg. Like,
Yeah,
hey.
he actually had a big box he was standing on to see over the.
Yeah, exactly. They built a big.
Well, the Car Titan was there, right?
So he's standing on the car Titan.
Dude, give me a
Hey,
boost.
give me a leg up,
Give me a
man.
lift.
And then, so it's actually the most innocent thing. He was just peeking, and then
Yeah.
accidentally,
Slipped.
oh, I broke the wall.
Whoopsie.
Oh no, the Titans game. They're gonna blame us for this.
I broke something.
I think. Yeah.
Shit.
I saw a spoiler. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, no more.
Yeah.
Real quick, like, how are you guys? Like, I think everyone, for the most part, has done a good job not, allowing Michael to ruin this for us.
I've seen a few spoilers. Nothing like huge, but I know a little bit about what's coming.
Yeah.
and the scale of things.
Oh, I know.
but not the ultimate
Eren
thing. But
will fight his friends.
no, that's a
Whoa.
That is my bold prediction.
No.
Lock it in. I'm just kidding. That is not my bold prediction.
that's a cold prediction.
It's a,
It will never happen.
my bold prediction was that they don't fight. They just all hold hands, sing Kumbaya, and ascend.
Oh,
No, my prediction is it's going to be the last episodes, however long it is. It's going to be just mostly talking and literally 60 seconds of actual action and fighting, and that's it.
It actually
man.
all go to and play like a soccer game, and that's how they determine who wins.
I asked the Krishna and Arjuna earlier today. So Ravi, I'm curious, what's the ideal ending in your mind?
It's honestly, it can be anything where, sure, the planet or wherever they're at, everyone dies. That's cool. Or Eren is.
that's cool.
No, I'm dead serious. Like, that's fine. That's
We actually
that's
all
great.
said a variation of that.
Or like, Eren loses and everyone lives kumbaya. The only thing I want to see, and we talked about it, I think, a couple of weeks back when we were talking Attack on Titan, like each season kind of ends and the world gets bigger, like beyond the wall, the world, and there's more like other devices at play. I want this to end where either you zoom out and it's like the whole thing's a weird simulation, or they get really weird where it's like we know we're a cartoon, or we're created
Break the
by
fourth
whatever.
wall.
Something of that nature, like just something interesting.
you want it a little bit beyond.
Yeah.
One final
They
twist.
find
yes,
out that
yeah.
they're on the World Titan.
He's like, yeah. Or
Yeah.
a turtle titan.
Yeah. This turns out to be a whole part of Stephen King's weird turtle creature thing.
What if they're just like a zit on a human, and then they get popped, and that's how everything ends?
I mean, it reminds me of Men in Black, right? When you pull out the
Oh,
marble.
yeah,
and then
exactly.
The universe is a marble being played
Or
with
it's in
by
a
big
locker.
aliens. Yeah, inside of a locker,
Yeah,
right.
that
Yeah,
type
like
of stuff.
it's
Yeah, that's
like that
kind of like
thing.
what I would like to see.
Goku lands on
That's
the
how it
planet, and they're
ends.
like, "This is Universe 10."
Oh man.
And then I want
nerd.
to hear like a week or two after it ends, I want to hear we're gonna be doing a prequel series.
Well, actually, I was gonna bring that up. I wonder if when
Oh,
before
no.
this next season comes out, they are going to announce a prequel or something like that. Or
Do you think
A
though? Do you
sequel.
think they would wait for obviously this is based on a manga. Would you I wonder if that's what's going to be happening. Like
making a
already
manga?
a manga prequel series has been in the works or something.
I mean, no.
And that's going to be announced between now and then.
We have seen popular anime spin-offs that aren't based on mangas. Dragon Ball GT probably being one of the more famous ones.
It was
That
awful.
failed.
And it was awful.
People liked it though.
Some people
It,
did.
it's
Yeah.
still it wasn't.
I
Like,
never
it wasn't
watched
an
it.
unpopular.
You
show.
never watched GT?
I watched the first arc and it was so bad that I stopped. And
Was
that was
it-
sad. That was really sad because I love Z.
Was it
obviously.
because he turned back into a kid, but then when
That's-
he goes Super
that's a
Saiyan,
part
he
of
gets
it.
an adult?
That's a part of it.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
It was because it was Dragon Ball Wish.
It was it was Dragon Ball, but still weird.
It
Like,
was a
with the
Dragon
adult-
Ball wish, and then they couldn't unchange it because like that wish caused the Dragon Balls to break or something, and chaos ensued.
Yeah. The
Then
Black
he left
Star.
his wife, and that was it. Like their marriage was over
Oh.
because he was a kid.
Yeah.
It would have never
See,
worked.
That's what I'm saying. Never mind. We're getting way off topic here, but
I mean, it's all the same
anime
thing.
is
It's
weird
anime.
in general. Yeah.
We're
It's
all-
storytelling from
In
a
this together.
strange perspective.
Yeah. That's true.
So, do you guys have any idea when you think it's coming out? Season 3? Or season 3. Season 4, part 3.
I do have an idea.
I have a guess too.
I think I am 99% sure it'll come out in 2023.
Wow.
Yeah.
So bold and
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
speculative
like-
of you.
January.
I'm gonna say next summer. I'm gonna say it's gonna be like
Summer?
June. June, just for some reason, I think of June 2023 when it
I think it's going to be January 1st midnight. So as soon as New Year's is over or New Year's Eve is over and we're on New Year's Day, boom, Attack on Titan.
I think
Nonstop.
it's going to be either January or April because that's typically when new
Anime?
seasons and anime and things roll out in Japan.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's the thing too. Like, when do you think they'll announce when it is? Are we thinking like in a
Day
week?
before.
Oh, that's annoying.
No, I think. Well, I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
if they announce tomorrow, oh, it's definitely coming out this time, or do we think we have to wait
I
a
feel
while?
like the
before
Attack
that?
on Titan marketing is a little weird, right? It's
It's
like,
not tied
like-
into any like big events.
It's not traditional in terms of
Yeah.
obviously they've done this elongated rollout plan, and they haven't given a lot of time. Like they announced that there was more on the day that they aired their finale.
Yeah.
So
Wait, and wasn't that announcement supposed to happen last week?
That's what everyone speculated.
Oh, so that was never an official thing then.
No, I mean the big thing those announcements were more like, oh, we're going to be doing like some Blu-ray releases and like this is when you can expect like an English dub and some other stuff. But there was nothing in terms of like the next or this is how like this is what's happening, blah blah blah. And it kind of makes sense. Matchy, you know what? It doesn't actually. I don't know why they did that. Because I was going to say, oh, it would have made sense to wait until the episode aired and then let people know what's going so you don't take away from this episode. But the fact that they announced it before we even saw the episode, it kind of killed any mystery that would have come with the episode, right?
Yeah.
Because we went into
Sure.
it knowing that this wasn't the end. As opposed to, I think it would have been
Just guessing.
interesting if we went into it, watched it, and we had
really
no
knowing.
idea what was going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a whole group of people that know exactly what's happening. That they, like
sure, but
It's
at the
not
same
like-
time, the manga is the manga, and the TV show is the TV show. There's nothing to say that the TV show, even though I know it's very unlikely, but even though the TV show has been following the manga, there's nothing written anywhere that says that they have to like do it the way the manga did.
Sure.
There was an anime that something similar happened. I forget what it's called, and like the adaptation on TV didn't follow the manga, and they had a bunch of chapters left, and they just kind of wrapped it up, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Like super pissed, and people thought that
Game of Thrones.
potentially could have
Yeah,
happened
it's
here.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is another good like Western
Yeah.
example of
Full Metal
of that.
Alchemist is maybe the most famous, right, for anime.
yeah, because they started it and then they just deviated and did their own thing.
Yeah, and then they had to redo the whole thing to follow the manga. Brotherhood, yeah. Which so you have two of the same shows, and they both have two completely different endings because one followed the manga and one didn't.
And the first like half of the first season is essentially the same. as
Essentially the
both.
same, yeah.
So, I mean, Evangelion, similar thing where it came out in the 80s. They did an entire run. Then they have remastered it. And then Amazon signed some deal and then had just full-blown 4 movies or something. And again, like the first parts, you could put them side by side and be like, this is the exact same thing.
Yeah, just updated animation.
It's strange.
yeah,
It's kind of fun, though.
yeah.
Ish. No. Maybe.
But I think them holding off, right? Like it created such a buzz around it because everybody's like, "What are they going to do? How are they going to wrap it up in one episode?" Like, surely not. No, there's so much buzz around it, and then right before they're like, "Nah, there'll be some more."
There's gonna be more. The
And
most
everybody
obvious
who's
answer
read
was
it
the right
knew
answer.
there was going to be more.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was pretty obvious, but there we go.
Dead air right there.
Yes.
Oh, enjoy
Wow.
that silence, everybody.
Did
That
you see
moment
that?
of meditation
That was
brought
the
to you
moment.
by Was It
The
Good?
moment? Which moment?
It's a Loki reference when He Who Remains is like, that's the moment.
Oh.
I have no idea what comes next.
And we still don't know what. Do we know what that moment was?
I mean, every MCU fan has speculated basically like every finale of every Disney Plus show or like climax of every Marvel movie that's come out since then. Is like, that's the moment.
that's the moment.
I thought it
It's
was
when they got
just
shawarma.
literally that moment.
Yeah.
In the show, he was like, "Oh, this is it."
This is it.
This is it. I don't know what happens next.
That's exactly what it is. But, people will be like, but maybe this is the moment where Xavier blows up in X-Men The Last Stand.
Whoa! Now we're talking. Now we're cooking.
In terms of the episode and everything that we saw, obviously the framing and everything was a little bit different from what we've seen, especially with part 2. I would say majority of the episode has just been showcasing the shit that human beings do to each other and the toll that war is on people. We saw a little bit of that in the beginning through the eyes of Mikasa, like with the flashbacks when they first get to Marley. But then we also kind of got this weird, like, let's get trashed moment, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a moment of levity.
Yeah.
Like to show their camaraderie.
It looks like it almost was framed as like Eren's last moment of humanity, to be honest. Because from that point on, after that, he's like committed. He's like, he allowed himself that one last moment to be with his comrades, have a drink. And then after that, that was it.
No,
it's
not. It wasn't just that, and then whatever. There was like an assembly. Remember, with the sovereign group to protect?
What I mean is,
Yeah,
the party itself
Right.
was Eren's last. He's already made his mind up what he's gonna do. So and he's foreseen it. He remember when he already knows everything that's gonna happen. There's no surprises left for him. It's just him doing it and getting over the fact that he has to do it. Right. That's why he was crying, I think. So the moment.
Oh, because he realized this was his last moment of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's his last moment of fun. That's when they appear. It's like good timing.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, yeah, let's get this party started.
Let's get
And then
this
after
party
that,
started.
that's when he leaves. He's going to see Zeke. He puts this whole thing in motion.
So earlier today, because I was on Twitter, I saw somebody that took a frame from this, and it's Mikasa and Eren, and then the old man with the drinks.
Yeah.
and they in the
creepy.
And the caption read, "The real villain of Attack on Titan was this guy," because, like you said, this is the last moment of his. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So that's the villain. The
Also
pig.
the clown?
The pig also.
The clown?
What was up with the clown? Yeah,
know, it was fucking scary.
get that.
Producer Michael pointed out that it probably confirms that this is a prequel to it. That's
That clown was huge.
I was really hoping there was an actual. Nobody has any theories on the clown
I think it's just creepy. Like
I
it's
think
to
it's
be
just
creepy?
I just think it's it's
to
a
showcase
creepy
how
clown.
small he is.
Maybe showcase how small Levi is, and
Yeah.
then just to show how different Marley culture is from. What
They're a
we've
bunch of
seen.
clowns.
I don't know. Maybe.
a bunch of damn clowns.
Yeah. But we lots of quick images in this one too. And like you said, very different style of episode. It almost felt like a not a recap episode, even though it kind of served that purpose.
Well, I think it's also like the juxtaposition of here are all these people being friendly and together and having good times, and what you're going to get is here are these people killing each other now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know?
Well, not killing each other, killing Eren.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they're killing each other. It's Eren versus them. They're killing each other.
Yeah.
Eren and all of his
Flock.
thing.
Eren Flock. And what's his name?
Well, Flock's dead, right?
We don't know that.
Wait,
we didn't
actually,
see Flock die.
I forget what happened with Flock. What happened? Did he blow up in something?
No, I thought he got eaten by a titan.
Oh, by the Jaw Titan, right?
Yeah.
I think the Jaw Titan.
Did he?
I think
he's
so.
dead. I'm pretty sure
No,
he's dead.
Flock will make a return.
Also, I
Long
just
live
wanna
the
say,
Flock.
Is that the most the greatest power up you've ever seen? Remember the last time you see him in episode 3?
Oh, he's a
a
wuss.
whiny little bit.
Yeah.
The most annoying
Oh, in
English
season
voice
3, yeah.
actor
Yep.
I have ever heard in my life. And now all of a sudden he's like almost on par with our, scout group that we've seen since season 1. Well, they're the best of the best because they're the longest survivors.
Surviving one day.
That's why they're the best because they just live.
Seniority makes you.
That's partly skill, but mostly experience.
Yep.
And he's just like this volunteer from season 3, and all of a sudden he's pulling off moves.
Well, if Eren can control everything and all Titans throughout all of time, has he basically saved their asses throughout time, to make sure that they're all alive?
I'm not going to answer that.
Because again, we still don't understand how the path and all that properly works.
We'll see. Well, I have theories on that. I'm going to say yes.
Wait, no, because it could be spoiler territory.
Well, no, I don't know for sure.
Yeah, but
It's
it
just
could
a
still
theory.
be spoiler territory, couldn't it?
Well, every theory is spoiler territory.
Yeah,
That's
I
a good
mean,
point.
it's not a spoiler if he doesn't actually know the
Right.
truth.
Right.
But it could be accidentally a spoiler, yes.
Absolutely.
Speculative spoilers.
Yes.
Well, speaking of spoilers, let's look at bold predictions that we made. Revisited. So, Krishna, let's start with you.
Was it good?
Dim the lights. That's not how that works here.
We should do
That would be cool if they wait, what was that show?
How to be a
Weakest
millionaire.
Link. Wow.
Oh.
Whoa, we can dim the lights here.
Oh.
Wow. It's pretty dark now. Anyway.
I'm scared.
Krishna had said that this is taking place on the moon of Saturn known as Titan.
I believe it's pronounced Titan.
So I guess, hold on. Well, let's actually, before we kind of dive deep into our bold predictions and give out fake internet points here, these are bold predictions that we have made that would be revealed in season 4, part 2?
So we made this at the beginning of season 4, part 2.
Thinking that it was the
Thinking
final
that this
part.
was the end. So by the time we got to the end of season 4, part 2, these would come
So
true.
then what's the ruling here?
I think
I
we
think you can
extend
push-
it.
you can push
You
some
have
of
to.
these.
You have to push it. We were working with limited information when we made them.
That's difficult.
So just make it the end. Make the prediction. Extend.
I
it
got
to
it.
the end of
So, Krishna,
season.
points for part 2 for that prediction, 0.
Yeah.
For the future, who the fuck knows?
Correct.
It's 0 for now.
0 for now.
It's an incomplete.
L for you.
Alpha loser.
Arjuna says it will be Eren versus everyone alive.
100 points for me.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. So good. Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, unless it changes. What if Eren's like, psych?
100 points for now.
I mean,
For now,
we
yeah, there you go.
actively saw him attack Marley at the end of this episode. I don't think there's any psychs left.
Psych. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Yeah. He's
All
he's
the
up
death.
at the last moment, like the first Colossal is about to squish an innocent child. He's like, stop. Okay, let's go home.
We killed
Yeah.
the military. It's fine.
Yeah, so he's not stopping there.
Yeah, I think it's destroy everything.
That's why Eren is the bad guy.
And then mine was, unfortunately, based on the internet, this show will be spoiled for one of us by Michael, the producer. Muhahaha.
Wait, did you actually say that?
Yeah.
I think he said it. I said the mwah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But I don't think
wow,
that
you-
happened.
I don't think it's been
hasn't
spoiled by Michael or the internet, really.
Yeah, no.
So, everyone's
been pretty
still
good.
kind of in
Yeah.
the dark.
Honestly, we
right?
should all get points for that because that's props to us.
It is.
Oh, by the way,
yourself
it
on the back.
ends with
Oh, by the way.
I
it
have
was
to.
all
I have
a
to
dream.
wonder. I don't want to go and search for this, but
Yeah, that's
there's a lot of internet blogs out there. There's a lot of internet out there.
there's a lot of it.
I really do hope some clickbaity whatever site doesn't decide one day. You know what?
Fuck it.
Fuck y'all.
They pull
And
an
puts
Eren.
it in their title.
They pull an Eren, are like, we're gonna doom all of humanity by spoiling it for everyone. It'll end up being Marshawn Lynch.
What would you
He'll
guys
just
do
tweet
if
that.
it is spoiled? Would you continue watching?
Yeah,
Would
yeah,
you
100%.
or
Too much of a commitment at this
or would you set up a boycott to whatever site ruined
Spoiled
it
it?
for you?
I mean, you can
Probably
you could do
that way.
both, right? We
Yeah.
can still watch the show
Yep.
and then figure out how to destroy the site.
Wow,
Twitter.
destroy. What if it's just an innocent mistake, Christian?
like Docker.
There are no innocent mistakes.
Sounds like Eren Yeager to me.
As Eren Yeager has proven, there are no innocents.
You're gonna roll a rumbling on that.
Oh
site.
lordy.
yeah. I'm gonna pull a rumbling on that
What's
site. I
left
don't
to
mean
be
fart.
spoiled? Though?
Rumble.
That's. I mean, the how it ends. I guess just who's gonna win, and
I
I
mean,
mean,
we saw this.
But here's the
episode.
thing: everyone's already kind of lost.
yeah, that's true. That's
I don't
100%
think
correct.
even if you stop Aaron
Yeah.
after
the
attacking
rumbling
Marley,
is enacted.
it's enacted. I don't think there's any nobody really wins here. Everyone's already kind of lost.
Yeah.
We're all fucked. The only way you can
I guess our protagonists right now
Right.
are trying to stop Eren from destroying the whole world. So like they're trying to
So
stop him.
they save 1% of it. Good job, guys.
I mean,
To that
maybe
1%.
half or I don't know. It's still a percent. That's still a lot of people, right? But their
Actually,
goal is not
we
to
don't
save
know what-
everyone.
we don't-
It's to save as many as they can.
we don't know what the population of the Earth is, so
It's
or
one-
this planet. We don't even know if it's
There
Earth.
is-
We do know.
There's
It's
a
1
big
million
thing
people.
we haven't talked about yet, and I can't believe we've gone this long without mentioning it. It's
Ice
actually
cream.
pretty vital to the
Ice cream?
show itself.
Oh, we
but
get a new theme song.
Yeah, will be a new theme song for
Yeah.
part 3. Rumbling is no longer the final song. Can anything top it?
Yes. The entire emo conglomerate to bands are going to come together and make the best emo song
Of
ever
all time?
and it's just going to be called "We Lost," and it's
We
just
lost.
basi-
We lost.
What if they use like Billie
We
Eilish's
lost.
bad guy? It's just like, I'm a bad
No.
guy.
You know what? Somehow Mappa makes a deal with whatever record label's behind Miley Cyrus, and I Came In on a Wrecking Ball, and that will
that's a
be
good
the new
one.
theme song.
I personally would choose. Actually, real quick, let's go around. So, would Wrecking Ball be your ideal?
Yes,
final
because it'd be
question?
so weird.
so real
Mine
quick-
would be In the End by Linkin Park.
oh, that's a good.
Mine would be Bad Guy by Billie Eilish.
matter.
That's a good one, too.
That's good.
But so Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. So Bridgerton is known for taking a lot of pop songs and making like orchestral
Bridgerton?
versions. It's a Netflix popular
Don't
Netflix
ask
show.
what Bridgerton
I'll
is.
give you a better recap. Bridgerton is a sex-filled British drama that weirdos watch.
It's not sex filled in season 2. It's very tame.
Why would you know this, Archie?
Some-
Somebody
both
sounds
seasons.
disappointed.
I like season 2 more.
Yeah, Juno's.
No, you don't. You like season 1 more. Come
No,
on.
but I will still. But that Wrecking Ball was like one of the covers they did. And it was
oh,
pretty
that's
fun.
cool.
You know what? That might convince me still to not watch it.
No, don't do it.
You guys
First
are so,
Hamilton,
you guys don't
now
like
Bridgerton.
it's a period piece. You guys don't like period pieces.
I hate ye old England in terms of
you
that
just don't
area.
like period pieces in general.
No, I like things like during King Arthur's time or Industrial Revolution or the things that are happening on Titan.
But none of this
With-
floppish Pimpernel stuff.
Yeah, Pimpernickel.
Pippernickels.
Pipper nipples?
Pimple nipples.
Pimple nipples.
Everything bagel.
Ooh.
Let's get into bold predictions for season 4, part 3.
I have a really good one.
And
Ooh.
it's an reverse. I'll say this: you can't use your
we
bold
already
predictions
did.
from
No,
the
I
past.
That's fair.
You got to do new ones, and it can't be so and so is going to die.
No, mine's not
It
that.
has,
be
if
the
you are
end.
going to do that, you have to give a gruesome, detailed, description of how it
All
happens.
right, my bold prediction is this will not be the end of Attack on Titan.
I've already
nope,
said-
I already said that at the
vetoed.
beginning.
This will be the beginning
Vetoed.
of a new show
I'm not writing that
called
down.
Attack on
No, give it,
the World.
give another one. Give another
Yeah,
one.
I want to
Give
hear
you a real-
your-
if you don't,
I wanna
Bridget,
hear
you have one?
Each
No, no,
give the
I
exact
do I
prediction.
do have one. I actually think there will be a lot of flashback episodes. I think there's going to be. I think what we got in this finale with a lot of like going back in time, you know, to kind of further explain some of the character motivations.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting a lot of
So
that.
I don't know why, but this thought just popped in my head. You want to know what Eren had for breakfast the day the wall broke? Well, tune into this episode.
Oh, okay, so it's like Attack on
He had eggs and bacon.
So remember, we had like 8 seasons of Attack on Clones, and people were like, "I think we know what happened every
Every single day of the
in
war,
The
yeah.
Clone Wars,
Yep.
of every single planet with every single character."
That's
Yeah.
true.
But Arjuna, the question is, what's your prediction for the story?
No, it's just general
Just
bold
general
prediction.
bold prediction.
Yeah, we
so
never.
You can just be like, oh, I predict there will be a new song and it'll be animated.
Well, it has to be bold.
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll do it a different.
Flashbacks. Everything.
It'll be a live action song.
Yeah, I think every to make it bold, I would say every episode will contain flashbacks.
But are you not curious what's going to happen? You have no theories on.
I mean,
the
you
actual
can. I
events?
just I'm just waiting for the show to happen itself.
Yeah.
We've been speculating.
I mean, from part 1 to part 2, and what Arjuna is saying with his prediction kind of makes sense in terms of what we've seen. Where part 1 starts out with perspective of Marley and kind of filling in the gaps of this time jump. Part 2 is more of that, especially this last episode. I think part 3, to Arjuna's point, makes sense, where it'll be even more, and it will be, instead of an entire like couple of days going by, it's literally going to be, we see him attacking Marley. I think in terms of the last part or whatever, in terms of the timing of what happens in like present day or real time, it'll be a couple hours.
Yeah,
and everything else will be the flashbacks.
Look, we've gotten a lot of perspective of a lot of other characters in season 4. We still haven't really gotten Eren's perspective and his POV and why he is necessarily doing all of this in this particular order and for what reason. And I think the show is going to end with that exploration and explanation.
Oh, okay. So you think the flashbacks will be about what Eren's perspective will be?
I think we're going to get more of Eren through flashbacks.
Maybe too much of Eren.
It's all Eren.
Ooh, a shower
It's
scene.
only Eren. It's a one-man show.
It was Eren all along.
You know who you look like? You look like Bruno from Encanto.
Hi, I'm... Well,
I haven't seen that movie.
either,
Yeah. Shoot. I was about to... Yeah, never mind.
Anyway, your bold prediction, Christian?
My bold prediction is
Say it.
Mikasa
Oh, don't say it.
is going to have a hard time killing Eren. She's not going to be able to do it. And then it's going to be revealed somehow that the baby inside of Krista is Eren's. And the rage that fills her, the jealous rage that fills her, will be enough for her to kill Eren. And the whole thing will be solved by lovers' jealousy.
Wow.
Better one.
I would hate.
Can I add?
Me too.
Can I add on?
That's
To,
why
can I
it's
can
bold
I add
now,
on to
doesn't
that?
it?
Can
Yeah,
I
of
can I add on to that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go for both these. Most of it's flashbacks. And again, the flashbacks help fill in the part that Eren knocks up his story at some point or whatever. And eventually, through the jealous rage and whatever, Mikasa is able to stop Eren. The world is saved. Yay, everyone clap. Clap, everyone clap.
But the baby...
But the baby,
The baby
seeks revenge when it gets older, and the whole thing starts all over again, and actually, fuck humanity, ends and dies.
because when that
Michael
baby-
asked me, as you said earlier, what my ideal ending was. That probably
Not
sounds
that.
like the absolute worst ending I could imagine.
I now really hope it happens just so I get your reaction.
I would
sacrifice the
immediately-
show for that.
I would immediately hate the entire show, and I would never ever watch Attack on Titan or talk about it ever again. It'd be like a How I Met Your Mother level.
I don't think it'll be... I think it's going to be a thing, though. I mean, I think...
just
I think
because of what we
Krista's-
saw with
Yeah, I think Krista's kid. I think there's a connection with Eren there, and I think when Mikasa finds out, she's gonna do what Mikasa does when things happen to Eren, or that Eren does that she doesn't like. She flies into a rage.
But how would you find out?
I don't know.
That's my
don't know.
question.
I don't know.
Especially if we predict
I
like
just,
it's
I
them,
have
they're
no
gonna essentially prepare the ship. To
Eren's
fly
gonna
over
show her.
and
Prepare, repair.
Eren's gonna want
repair
her.
and repair.
Hey, I just figured it out. Eren's gonna want her to kill him, and so he's going to give her the memory of him impregnating.
How's that work?
Wait, back up.
I don't know.
Why would he want? But he would only want that once his plan has been fully enacted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the plan has worked.
Yeah.
The whole world is dead.
Yes.
And now he's like, I want to sleep now. And it's like, Mikasa, do it. And she's like, I can't. And he's like, fine.
that kind of makes
Boom.
sense.
And then she's like, okay. Whoosh, cuts his head off. And the world ends in darkness.
Mikasa sounds somewhat unstable and dangerous.
She can be.
Well, yeah. If there's the remember
She's
Zeke.
an Ackerman.
Remember, there's a whole discussion between Zeke and Eren
Yeah.
around the Ackermans and that whole thing, and basically it's fight or flight.
Yeah. Survival instinct.
Right. So I think,
Which is lends into the power.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I'm wondering if not forget the whole Historia thing. That's probably won't end up happening.
I'm hoping I'm wrong.
But I think maybe that line is brought up because maybe Eren wants to know that.
He wants Mikasa to kill him.
Yeah.
She has to. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like the show, especially with this episode, is really making setting up for if/when he dies, it has to kind of be Mikasa.
yeah.
Especially with the flashback of him protecting her and the stabbing. Like, is it a full circle? The show is all about cycles. It's about the cyclical nature of things.
So good.
Maybe that's the full cycle. To protect him, I must stab you.
Hold on. Circle. I'm Doctor Strange.
It's like a bantha.
Like a bantha. Doctor Strange.
Zemo.
Guys, it's that time. We are a podcast that
Wait,
determines.
what was your bold prediction again?
Oh yeah, my bold prediction I said at the beginning. Oh no, I added on. I said mostly flashbacks. Eren knocks up a story, and through the jealous rage, but the baby seeks revenge, and the cycle restarts. So I added on to yours. But I do truly believe my bold prediction is what I said at the very beginning. There's going to be a movie as well.
What about 3 movies?
A trilogy.
Arjuna. Arjuna, was Attack on Titan? Are we just gonna answer the question for the whole thing?
Do
Part
part
two.
two.
Part 2, yeah.
Part two.
Yeah. So Arjuna, was Attack on Titan the show that has made you waste 10 years of your life?
Well, I haven't watched it for 10 years.
The show that has made you aware of its existence for 10 years. Season 4, Part 2, good.
It was good.
Wow.
Was an
I was
enjoyable
nervous.
season.
I was nervous for a second.
I think that the season will be even better when I'm able to watch it with season 4 part 1 and season 4 part 3, you know, to make a full season. That will be nice to have. But it's still good, you know? Still a lot of good episodes, still a lot of rewarding experiences for a viewer who has watched the entire show. And yeah, I'm excited for the next season, if not, but obviously disappointed of the long wait ahead.
For sure.
Krishna, was it good?
It was very good. I loved it.
There you have it.
It was great. I love the lore. It's made things infinitely more complicated, but I like that for some reason. Like I said last week in last week's episode, I think I'm a masochist for this kind of stuff. Like it hurts, but it hurts so good.
What the fuck?
Okay, Mellencamp.
Yeah. So Ravi, was season 4 of Attack on Titan Part 2 good for you? Did it hurt you like it hurt me?
Everybody.
I hate to say it was good.
Get it. Oh, thank God.
I was about
to kick your butt.
Yes, it was obviously very good. Do I like the fact that we have to wait for fucking part 3?
No, I don't like that.
And God knows what else? No, I hate that because, you know, in 8 months, aliens could invade us.
That's true.
And then what?
Yeah. Then you never get the ending.
Then
I have a new bold
become your best
prediction.
friend.
Krishna will be married before the show ends.
I promise.
Whoa, that's a pretty good bold prediction.
And divorced.
I
That's
promise.
depressing.
What a, that
And married again.
that makes it seem like the finale here, the last part, is getting delayed indefinitely.
Correct.
Oh God.
But yeah, no, overall, definitely, it was great. It's Attack on Titans. What you want to see, it's these weird stories, this weird world that they've created. We want to know how it
very
ends.
weird.
It's just like, come on, hurry the fuck up here.
Yeah.
I don't have all day. Well, maybe I do. I don't have all day.
Hey, I can do this all day.
If you didn't want to wait, you would just ask me or read.
X me?
You would look it up.
No, because
I can wait.
again, no, it's not even that. It's, again, we don't know. Like, I think it is silly of us to presume that it's going to be exactly the same as the manga.
For sure.
And
I mean, a lot of it has been.
sure,
It's been identical.
but at the end of the day, you don't know if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's
it would
like-
be quite the curveball.
Yeah,
If
it would
all of
definitely.
a sudden the last 8 episodes are totally different. But like you said, never say never.
You said curveball, but you know there's a character who likes to throw a baseball in Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
And his name
2 characters.
is Zeke Yeager.
So you're saying that if instead of Luke Skywalker coming down and saving them all, it was Vader, that would be cool with you? Oh, shoot. I spoiled it.
Vader.
Vader.
Father, Eren Yeager.
And with that, that's going to do it for us here at Was It Good for this episode. We are going to be back next week with Krishna remote again. The world is healing.
The world is healing, yeah.
And definitely check us out on Twitter at Was It Good, on Instagram at Was It Good, Instagram and TikTok at Was It Good Pod. Also, we were at WonderCon 2022. We have a bunch of cool videos coming out, so follow us here on YouTube /Was It Good. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button so you're aware when we drop those videos. Our next pod is gonna be on something, so follow Twitter to figure that out.
Maybe
Not Morbius.
Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yes, that movie looks really interesting and different, so I vote
Oh man,
for
I
that.
thought you were joking for a second. Like we're gonna review everything.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, all at
No,
once.
there's a new
Oh,
there's an
okay.
A24 movie that's about
Yeah,
the multiverse that I
It
think
took me a second.
would be a
remember.
fun thing for us to review.
Tune in to us talking all at the same time.
And with that, that'll do it for us here, and goodbye.
I like